The Boston Celtics are always making headlines, and today we've got some big news coming straight out of Beantown. We're talking trades, rumors, and the future of one of the most exciting teams in the NBA. If you're a Celtics fan or just a basketball junkie, you don't want to miss this. But before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments down below. Let's get into it. We all know the Celtics are no strangers to making big moves in the trade market. They've already made a splash this offseason. The Celtics shipped Jrue Holiday off to the Portland Trail Blazers and Kristaps Porzingis to the Atlanta Hawks. These trades weren't just about shaking up the roster. They saved Boston a whopping $28 million in salary and nearly $200 million in luxury taxes for the 2024 to 2025 season. That's right, big moves that have both financial and roster implications. But here's where things get even more interesting. Now, two key Celtics players, Jaylen Brown and Derrick White, are reportedly drawing serious trade interest from teams across the NBA. These are big names, folks, and their futures in Boston are suddenly up in the air. As we approach the first round of the NBA draft, scheduled for Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific time, there's a lot of speculation about what the Celtics might do next. With the number 28th pick in the first round, one of the last picks overall, Boston could look to trade Brown or White to secure a higher pick. Now just imagine that. What could the Celtics get in return for one of their star guards? A higher pick? More assets to improve the roster? There are a ton of possibilities on the table. However, before we all get carried away with trade rumors, there's a twist. NBA insider Jake Fisher has provided a major update, and here's the scoop. It doesn't sound like the Celtics are in any rush to move either of these guys. In fact, according to Fisher, Boston has been adamant about keeping Brown and White since May, and they've made it clear that they have no intention of pulling the trigger on a trade anytime soon. So, what does that mean for Boston's future? Well, it gets complicated. While trading Brown or White could potentially free up some salary cap space and provide an opportunity to reload with younger players, the Celtics are facing a big challenge in the form of a significant injury to their star forward, Jayson Tatum. You might remember Tatum's Achilles injury from the playoffs. That injury has turned the Celtics offseason upside down. Tatum was one of only 3 NBA players to suffer an Achilles tear during the playoffs, and as a result, he's expected to miss the entire 2025 to 2026 season. That's a huge blow for Boston, as Tatum is the franchise cornerstone. So with Tatum out, Brown and White become even more important to the team's success moving forward. Looking at the numbers, it's clear that both Brown and White are integral parts of the Celtics core. Derrick White, the 6'4" point guard, had a stellar season last year, averaging 16.4 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 4.8 assists in 76 regular season games. He's a dynamic player who can do it all, contributing offensively and defensively. He's exactly the type of player any team would want on their roster. On the other hand, Jaylen Brown, who just underwent arthroscopic knee surgery in June, was putting up impressive numbers before his injury. Brown averaged 22.2 points, 5.8 rebounds, and 4.5 assists in 63 games last season, earning himself a spot as a 4-time NBA All-Star. The good news for Celtics fans is that Brown is expected to be healthy in time for training camp, so he'll be ready to go when the season starts. Now, we can't ignore the financial side of things. Brown is signed to a massive 5-year, $304 million contract, one of the richest in NBA history. That kind of contract will always raise eyebrows, and some have speculated that Boston could eventually move Brown to avoid the luxury tax implications. However, for now, it seems like the Celtics are committed to keeping their dynamic duo together, especially with Tatum's absence looming large. And let's not forget about Derrick White's recent extension. After helping the Celtics secure the NBA championship in 2024, White agreed to a 4-year, $129.5 million contract extension. With White locked in for the foreseeable future, it seems like Boston has a lot of faith in his ability to contribute at the highest level.